Sunday Live with Jeff Koinange and Olive Barrows.
It is Sunday the
8th of February.
That's right, 2026. Let's not forget we've got Emmanuel Ndungu as well.
Yeah, with
us. Ndungu.
Ndungu, yeah.
Looking good, man.
Thank you very much, you too.
I
like the purple.
Trying to copy me?
Yeah, a little bit. Actually, I was copying Olive as well. Black shoes, navy blue.
We are coordinated.
Absolutely.
We've got a great show for you tonight, folks.
Yes, we're getting into matters.
NSSF. We've got some great folks. I mean, we've got David Koros. He's the CEO, Managing Trustee, NSSF. Right?
Okay.
Who else we have?
I can see there Rose Omamo, Trustee, representing Kotu.
And Mike Macharia, Trustee, representing FKE.
I want to know what the new rates will mean for my paycheck. Bottom line. Net pay.
Do you know they're putting up a building in the CBD
effect?
worth 30 billion shillings?
I read that.
30 billion. That's our money.
And ever since we increased contributions.
That's our money.
What's been the effect?
I want an apartment there.
We should all get a share.
Let's start tweeting at Koinange Jeff.
At Barrows at Citizen TV Kenya.
And at Emmanuel ND.
This hashtag is Sunday Live. Sunday Live begins right now. Tonight.
Tear gas and chaos. Mayhem in Huruma estate in Nairobi after police allegedly shot and killed a young fish trader.
Hata ile narrative alisema ati watoto waende shule watachukuliwa venye wako, it is not happening. Juu wale wengi wako hapa wamerudi.
Grade 10 transition crisis. More than 30 students in Mukuru slums remain at home 1 month later.
Chama cha ODM haiwezi kuingia kwa UDA.
Hata leo hii mkiamua mtufukuze, tuko tayari kurudi by election.
We cannot sell ODM. A section of ODM leaders push back against cooperation with UDA.
Sijaweza kufikia watu wenye wanaweza nisaidia kupitisha ujumbe.
Trekking for a university dream. A 27-year-old man walked from Bomet to Nairobi in an effort to raise tuition fees to join university.
And welcome to the broadcast. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Yulanzali. Tonight, we begin with the fury of residents of Huruma in Nairobi following the killing of a 22-year-old girl.
Cheryl Aching was fatally shot dead on Saturday night in what residents allege was a reckless police operation in pursuit of a suspect. And as Ode Francis reports, her death has ignited outrage, sparking protests, barricades, and the burning of 3 buses as locals demand answers and justice.
This is the situation as it unfolded in John Saga, Huruma. A fierce standoff between police officers and local residents. The cause, the fatal of a 22-year-old Cheryl Aching, a student of the Kenya Medical Training College. She was shot in the head while assisting her mother at their fish stall as police pursued a wanted suspect.
Kesho ndio walikuwa maliza exam. Mimi nikapigiwa simu na mwenzangu ananiambia ati Cheryl ameshutiwa. Ati amepigwa na bunduki. Nikajiuliza ameibia nani? Ati amepatikana tu palipake pa kazi. Hapo palipenyu pa kazi ndiye alishutiwa. Ila kama angekuwa kijana ashutiwe hivyo ningesema ni mwizi.
Her mother arrived at the scene in anguish, blood still visible where her daughter fell. Spent cartridges collected by residents serving as evidence that live bullets were fired. According to locals, the shooter was a non-police officer.
The police officer, who is called Abdul somebody, who is known for killing young innocent people, has done it again today.
Uo sanza netu Abdi na nani mwingine na Stano. Wote wavutwe kazi na kasi hivyo tunaharibu huku.
It was inside this stall where her mother had raised her children and sold fish for years that Cheryl's life was cut short. The incident reportedly occurred as police pursued a suspect thief on Saturday, sparking the outrage and anger among locals.
Hapo ndiye anapatanga fare yake na lunch yake ya kwenda shule. Sasa hiyo ndio mimi mtoto wangu ndio nataka justice yake. Alikuwa ananiambia mama, wacha nipe tu hizo miaka 4 nikimaliza wewe uende ushago mimi nibaki nikilea wetu wadogo.
Those people are telling us that we are in broad-based government. This is broad-based government. We are not going to be forced to be in broad-based government that is killing our people. The comrade has been caboose and cabas today here. That a comrade has been killed here today.
Protesters blocked major roads, erected barricades and lit bonfires. Several businesses, stalls and parked buses were set ablaze as demonstrators demanded justice and accountability for security agencies.
Mahali nilikuwa nauza wamechukua wheelchair ya mtoto wangu na nilikuwa na shonanga hizo mavitambaa. Sasa hata nashindwa nitaanza aje.
Officers from the Independent Policing Oversight Authority arrived to begin investigations after the family was initially denied the chance to file a report at Huruma police station. Activists later intervened and secured an official OB entry.
So we are telling Murkomen, we are telling the IG, na wale wengine wote wana issue shoot to kill orders. This is unacceptable. Hiyo shoot to kill orders ndio inaenda inaua watu completely innocent.
Police have in a statement acknowledged the killing and called on locals to allow the law take its course and avoid acts of lawlessness. Ode Francis, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, and now to a developing story on the Grade 10 transition crisis. While President directed school heads to admit learners with or without school fees and uniforms, the reality on the ground is starkly different.
Some parents have called the directive impractical, and several disadvantaged learners report being turned away at school gates for lacking the necessary materials.
As our very own Serafina Chieng'oma reports, in Nairobi's Mukuru kwa Jenga slums, more than 30 learners remain stuck at home, watching their dreams of joining senior schools slowly slip away.
Sunday afternoon in Mukuru kwa Jenga slums in Nairobi, an unusual meeting is underway at one of the local schools, a meeting of about 30 grade 10 hopefuls. Almost a month after their peers reported to senior schools, these learners remain trapped in the whirlwind of poverty, caught in an endless plea for support to join school. Deborah Nyatich is one of them. After scoring 54 points in her KJSEA assessment, she had hopes of joining Suguta Girls High School in Kisii County. But despite the presidential directive aimed at ensuring that vulnerable learners like her are not locked out, her situation, she says, remains dire.
Hakuna venye naweza toka hapa, hakuna fare. Sasa siwezi enda kulala kwa bila mattress shule. Tunahitaji mattress box, mimi kama msichana nahitaji pads, mafuta. Sasa hatukuwa na hiyo uwezo kabisa. Sasa ndio maana hadi sikuenda shule mpaka leo.
Monica Kilonzo dared to trust the presidential directive. She travelled all the way to Kisii to enroll her son, Charles Mokaya, who had scored 61 points into his dream school, only to be heartlessly turned away at the gate.
Baada ya kuenda Kisii, vile tulichangiwa tukaenda tukapewa mattress na tukachangiwa sanduku. Baada ya kufika vile tulifika tu hatupeweza kuingia kwa gate. Tuliambiwa turudi. So baada ya kuambiwa turudi, by the way tuliomba hata usingizi. Tukalala, kuna mama alitusaidia tukalala. Kesho yake nikapigia chief simu ambao ni Chief Cosmas wa Imara Daima, yeye ndio aliweza kututumia fare.
Na watu wako shule washasoma na mimi bado niko huko na ofia nikienda naweza pata syllabus imesonga na catch up inaweza kuwa ngumu.
The same fate befell Zekaria Abdi, who was sent away with a warning, return only once he had gathered all the required items or risk losing his hard-earned sport.
Tulisikia president akisema tuende shule, tukaenda, kaambia principal, yeye akasema hakuna school fees imelipwa, inabidi mrudi nyumbani mtafute pesa na mnunue vitu zinahitajika shuleni.
Kate Nyambura, a social worker supporting vulnerable families in the area, says that more than 60 grade 10 learners remain trapped at home, facing not only the heartbreak of missing school, but also the risk of being drawn into dangerous social vices that lurk within the slum.
Hata ile narrative alisema ati watoto waende shule watachukuliwa venye wako, it is not happening. Tumefanya kazi kubwa sana ya kutoa watoto kwa dump site na kuwaongelesha na kuwapea hope ati kuna hope wataenda shule. Na hapa kwetu Mukuru ukiangalia tuko na watoto wengi sana na wengi wamekuwa wanarandaranda. Tunaogopa hata sasa mimba za mapema because wasichana wetu wakianza kurandaranda hapa watapata early pregnancy.
As these learners continue to bear the brunt of the dilemma faced by school heads, torn over whether to admit them without government support, their parents are now urging the government to walk its talk and ensure the presidential directive translates into real action. In the meantime, Education PS Julius Bitok has defended the government position and urged such parents to consider day schools which are free and have a low cost of school requirements. Safina Chengoma, Citizen TV.
And still on matters education, a 27-year-old needy student from Bomet has completed a grueling 200-kilometer walk from Bomet to Nairobi in a desperate bid to raise school fees for his university education.
Duncan Kibet, who completed his secondary education in 2015, has been unable to enroll in university for more than a decade due to financial constraints.
Now, 11 years later, Kibet remains determined not to give up on his dream.
And through the long-distance walk, he hopes to draw the attention of well-wishers to support his ambition of joining university, where he plans to pursue a Bachelor of Arts degree, as you'll hear now.
From Citizen TV's Ben Kuriran.
Good morning, good people. The sun is shining.
His story stands as a powerful testament to hope and resilience. For 11 straight years, the thirst for education has never faded for the 27-year-old, despite the persistent financial hardships he has faced since completing his secondary education in 2015. After repeatedly hitting what seemed like a dead end, Kibet refused to let his dreams slip away. In an effort to change his fate, he embarked on a grueling over 200-kilometer walk from Bomet to Nairobi in a desperate bid to raise school fees for his university education.
I started at 5:33 a.m. From Bomet. I made it all the way to Narok. It was a very tough challenge because by that time I had no money on me. So the only time I got support from a friend to be able to buy food when I was at Olulunga. So I had traveled about 50 kilometers or so. And people realized that I was serious in the challenge, and people kept calling me, people kept sending me something to buy food.
Kibet began the journey on January 28th, taking 4 days to arrive in Nairobi. Throughout the trek, he kept Kenyans updated on social media, documenting the physical and emotional toll of the challenge. Moved by his determination, some well-wishers sent him money for food, refreshments and accommodation along the way, a gesture that saw him break down emotionally as he shared his story.
So I remember a moment I made it. I was at this old satellite around just towards the Suswa Bridge. And I ran out of water. So I kept stopping cars. People whom I didn't even know. And this guy asked me, "What are you doing along the road? And you look very tired." So this guy gave me water.
Despite the demanding journey, Kibet managed to raise only 12,000 shillings, most of it contributed through a WhatsApp group. However, he maintains that the primary goal of the walk was not the money raised, but to attract a sponsor willing to support his university education. He has since secured admission to Mount Kenya University and is expected to report on Monday.
I only got admission, but I don't have the fees to join. and the admission is expected to be on 9th tomorrow.
Raised by a single mother and with other siblings already in university, Kibet previously put his own ambitions on hold for the sake of his younger brother, who performed well in the KCSE and earned admission to Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology.
I saw that he had scored a very good grade. He had an A-, and everybody was joyful because, you know, so me too, with that brother, I really love him. So I felt that he should proceed, and I will come.
To make this sacrifice possible, Kibet took up menial jobs to help meet his brother's basic needs while at university. Now he hopes it is finally his turn to pursue an education and realize his dreams. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Good luck to that young man.
Well, you know, I asked you when the story was airing, the longest distance you've walked, and you told me from Naivasha
to Nairobi.
Yeah.
And you said why?
Yeah, why?
Charity, charity just like this young man, just giving back.
Okay.
How about you? From here to the gate?
A half marathon, because I didn't run.
Yeah, if you believe us, at Koinange Jeff.
Oh, they believe you, for sure.
On to politics now. President William Ruto has dismissed the revival of the Azimio la Umoja coalition through the recent leadership changes, stating that the outfit is already dead without inclusion of the Orange Democratic Movement.
The head of state, while addressing a rally in Pipeline area, Nairobi County, defended the UDA-ODM pre-2027 election coalition talks, stating that the broad-based government is investing in multi-billion infrastructure projects aimed at boosting the economy as well as cushioning Kenyans against the high cost of living.
Let's get more from our very own Seth Olale.
In his second successive weekend rally in Nairobi County, President William Ruto wooed residents of Pipeline Estate, Nairobi County, urging them to give him a second term in office in order to enable him finalize his development and economic first world dream.
2027, vijana!
President Ruto taking a swipe at the united opposition by stating that efforts to revive the Azimio la Umoja through restructuring of its leadership ahead of the 2027 presidential polls are null and void.
Sasa nimesikia ati wanataka kuanzisha Azimio. Ile Azimio tulinyorosha asubuhi na mapema. Sasa niwaulize, Azimio bila ODM ni kuzimia? Azimio bila ODM si ni kuzimia?
The head of state defending the UDA and ODM cooperation through the broad-based government, which he says will steer the nation towards the realization of the Singapore dream.
Ni kazi ama kabila ya mtu? Ni kazi ama dini ya mtu? Si ni kazi? Si kila mtu atachaguliwa na kazi amefanya? Si mimi nitakuja hapa na kazi yangu ya affordable housing, ya markets, ya barabara, ya kusafisha city. Si nyinyi mtaamua?
Earlier, while attending a church service at the AIC Pipeline, accompanied by Governor Johnson Sakaja and MCAs, the president said the proposed tax reliefs will be top of the agenda when parliamentary sittings resume.
Vile Yoshua aliambiwa ya kwamba no man shall stand before you. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. Be strong and courageous.
The head of state also announcing the commencement of a comprehensive cooperation between the national and county government aimed at efficient service delivery to Nairobi residents.
Your Excellency, I will tell you later, there are some of your officers who have colluded with these cartels to harm the people of Mukuru. I will tell you their names and I will tell you what they have done. Because ni pesa imetembea.
Nairobi is going to lead. And that is why we are determined to change this city.
President William Ruto says he will use Nairobi City as a benchmarking zone to realize the Singapore dream. Seth Olale, Citizen TV, Nairobi County.
And still on politics, the united opposition is tonight challenging President William Ruto to brace for a tough 2027 contest. One, they say, will be fought on ideology and policy, not personal interests.
This comes after months of criticism that the coalition was agendaless, brought together merely to serve personal gains and divide the country along tribal lines.
That's right. Now, opposition chiefs Rigathi Gachagua, Fred Matiang'i and Justin Muturi, who attended Sunday Mass in Njabini in Nyandarua County, also took the opportunity to rally the country's youth.
They urged young Kenyans to register as voters and support the opposition in what they describe as a mission to deliver much-needed leadership.
That's right. Our very own Kamau Mwangi. There is more.
In a move aimed at shaking off the tug of an agendaless coalition 17 months ahead of the general election and following months of attacks from President William Ruto, the united opposition has told off the head of state. They are instead warning him to prepare for a grueling contest, one they say will focus on alternative policies, ideology and a clear agenda. Speaking at the Njabini Catholic Parish in Nyandarua on Sunday, where they attended Mass, the opposition chiefs expressed confidence in sending President Ruto packing. They announced plans to reverse several key policies of his administration as their first order of business, positioning themselves as the country's alternative leadership.
Tunataka mabadiliko kwa sababu tuna mpango wa kuleta uongozi bora kwa nchi yetu. Turekebishe elimu, turudishe free primary education, turudishe free day secondary education, wazazi na watoto wasihangaike. Turudishe NHIF, tutengeneze mambo yetu ya afya.
Akakuja na Biblia akasema ameokoka, tukamwamini. Ndio anasema hatuna akili. Akakuja akaambia sisi ate wheelbarrow inaweza fikisha sisi pale tunataka kwenda. Tukakubali. Ndio anasema hatuna nini? Tarehe 10 mwezi wa 8 mwaka ujao, kura ikihesabiwa, ndio utajua sisi tuko na akili.
Why are you letting Kenyans be taken to Russia, to Ukraine, to fight? People who are not even trained, they are not military personnel. For how long do you want these parents to continue suffering?
To see this vision through, the opposition is calling on the country's youth to register as voters ahead of the 2027 polls. They urged young Kenyans to channel their voices into action and drive the change they have long been promised, presenting themselves as a solution to many of the challenges the nation currently faces.
Hiyo maneno ya kuambiwa tuongezee, waulize tuongezee muda kwa nini? Why do you want more time? Ufanye nini? Sababu sasa hakuna kitu unafanya saa hii, tukuongezee muda ufanye nini? Ili tuendelee kuteseka, tuendelee kusumbuka.
And while addressing roadside rallies in Kinangop and Naivasha constituencies, the opposition leaders vowed to remain united until the very end, promising to select a candidate among themselves who is strong enough to take on President Ruto in August 2027.
Mimi nataka nikuambie William Ruto, ODM imekwisha. Waluya wametoka, Wakisii wametoka, Wakamba hapana iko na wewe, watu ya Pwani hapana iko na wewe. Hakuna kitu kama ODM. Number 2, UDA. Saa ile mlima imetoka, hakuna kitu kama UDA. So wewe umebaki kwa kona, imebaki siku chache tukusafirishe uende nyumbani.
Kamau Mwangi, Citizen TV.
At the same time, the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, faction led by embattled Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, Deputy Leader Godfrey Osotsi, Siaya Governor James Orengo, and Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino, has vowed that the party will not be quote-unquote sold for personal gain.
Speaking at a rally in Busia, the leaders promised nationwide protests against President William Ruto, accusing his government of mismanaging critical sectors such as education, health and security.
Now, they also insisted that ODM will field a presidential candidate in 2027 general election. And we get more. Once again, my very own Seth Olale.
The Linda Mwananchi Brigade held its second grassroots rally in Busia County after its debut in Kawangware, Nairobi County, a fortnight ago. The leaders, including Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, Deputy Party Leader Godfrey Osotsi, Say Governor James Orengo, Embakasi East MP Babu Owino, and a host of other leaders, declared that the Orange Party will not be traded away for political convenience, vowing to defend its principles and champion the people's interest.
Sisi sio watoto. Sisi sio washenzi. Sisi tutadili na nyinyi. Hata leo hii mkiamua mtufukuze, tuko tayari kurudi by election. Lakini penye baba aliwachia chama, lazima tuendeleze wapi?
Hatutatishwa na mtu yoyote. Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga hakulea watu waoga. Na baba alikuwa anatuambia kila siku, Sifuna, chunga maslahi ya mwananchi, kwa sababu hiyo ndio kazi yetu.
The Linda Mwananchi team rejecting resolutions by the ODM party's Central Committee to initiate pre-2027 election talks between ODM and UDA.
Nyinyi mnataka kwenda ndoa na UDA? Tunasema tawe. UDA tawe.
Chama cha ODM haiwezi kuingia kwa UDA. Kamwe, 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 kamwe. Wangapi Busia wamesema hawatawe?
The leaders insisting that the Orange Party will field a presidential candidate to challenge President William Ruto's second-term bid.
Tunataka tuambie wazee wote 2027 achia uwanja, vijana wachukue ushukani. Vijana mko tayari?
The Orange Democratic Movement party leaders, who earlier in the day held rallies in Uganda, vowed to stage nationwide demonstrations against President William Ruto's alleged mismanagement of critical sectors including education, health and security.
Maandamano mzuri mbaya. Nione kwa mkono wale wanasema tutaenda maandamano.
Seth Olale, Citizen TV.
Still on politics, and Western Kenya leaders championing for the re-election of President William Ruto have vowed to mobilize area voters to back Ruto in 2027.
Led by their coordinator, Bungoma Governor Ken Lusaka, the leaders assured that UDA will inherit former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's support base.
And they have accused former President Uhuru Kenyatta of undermining President Ruto through recent political activity in Azimio and masterminding divisions in ODM. Take a listen.
Wacha niwaulize, najua hesabu ni ngumu, hata sisi kwa shule ilitusumbua. Kweli ukiona ukipiga hesabu, iwe kina Munyoro wataweza kushinda mudi ya shares, atashikwa atamshinda, Matiang'i atamshinda, Atimaga Karua atamshinda. Kweli kweli hata kama hesabu ni ngumu, haiwezekani, si ni kweli?
Uhuru Kenyatta, wacha kuharibu chama cha ODM, chama cha Raila Amolo Odinga. Tunajua faction fulani ya ODM Uhuru aliwaita, amewapatia pesa, hao ndio wanagawanya hiyo chama cha Raila Amolo Odinga. Tunataka tuambie Uhuru, kama uko retirement na Raila alikuwa rafiki yako, heshimu Raila, wachana na chama cha ODM, ushirikiane na UDA.
All right, on that note, lots of politics tonight, huh? A lot of politics. Let's take a break. What do you say? Come back, plenty more ahead, including our guest tonight on the show. It's all about NSSF.
National Social Security
Fund. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff.
At Obaros, at Citizen TV Kenya.
Hashtag is Sunday Live. Sunday Live takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Coming up, youth from underprivileged communities are getting opportunities to be trained in technology and sports. Thank you for staying with us on Sunday Live.
Women from East Africa, including People's Liberation Party leader Martha Karua, have written an open letter to Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni and his son General Muhoozi, the chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, condemning the sexual victimization of women in connection with the January 15th presidential election. They have also called on First Lady Janet Museveni to speak out against the humiliation and abuse of women by security forces under the command of her husband and son. The African Union and the East African Community, which President William Ruto chairs, have also been called upon to speak out against these human rights violations, with the United Nations called upon to dispatch a fact-finding mission to Uganda.
Please come, let's all be together.
Women drawn from the East African community, standing in solidarity with what they described as global advocates for human dignity, gathered in Nairobi on Sunday to sound the alarm on the sexual victimization of women, ironically, by the Uganda People's Defense Forces under the command of President Yoweri Museveni and his son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba.
This is no longer a domestic matter. The scale of these violations demands immediate intervention from you as head of state and commander-in-chief of the Ugandan People's Defense Forces, and therefore the boss of the chief of defense forces, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, as well as his father.
You people, what do you want in our compound?
The women detailing at least 9 instances where women either critical of Museveni's regime or involved with the opposition or related to opposition figures have been targeted, abused, and in some instances disappeared.
Dozens of security personnel, many visibly intoxicated, forcibly breached the residence of Robert Kyagulanyi, President Museveni's main challenger, in the January presidential elections. 4 military men perpetrated a heinous act of sexual violence by ripping off Barbara's clothing, leaving her exposed to over 50 jeering men.
These atrocities are embodied by public conduct of the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, is consistent online pattern of disregarding women, using derogatory terms like nyashless to body shame and mock women, sets a dangerous precedent without shame. When the commander of the defense forces, that's the CDF, publicly disgraces women, it provides a green light for forces under his command to treat women in similar contempt.
The women of Jumuiya have therefore called for the respect of human rights by Ugandan authorities and for the international community to uphold its obligations.
And other opposition figures were arrested, placed in custody. They consisted of women, youth, and men. They are more than we can tell. And that's why we are asking for an independent investigative mission by the world's human rights architecture.
Olive Burrows, Citizen TV. For many children in informal settlements, access to a computer is still a distant dream. But that dream is arriving on wheels for more than 200 learners from Kibra, one of Nairobi's largest slums. These students are benefiting from a mobile computer lab, the transformed DGAI bus. Ranging from ages 5 to 18, the learners are combining rugby training with digital technology lessons. Emily Chebet reports.
Sunday morning and hundreds of children from Kibra's informal settlement stream into the rugby grounds on Ngong Road in Nairobi. The excited boys and girls drawn from different age groups head straight to the training field, ready for a session that blends sport, discipline and dreams. As the training kicks off, inside this mobile computer lab equipped with 36 internet-connected computers, preparation is underway to receive the same learners in groups for exposure to basic digital skills. Here, children are introduced to coding, artificial intelligence and robotics, skills rarely available to learners in underserved communities.
This is education on wheels, quite literally. These learners from Kibra are interacting with computers, some of them maybe for the first time, but they say it is a game changer in the future, especially with the competency-based education where tech is key for all. A team from King's Rugby Development Academy working together with Kodieto says the goal is to combine talent and education in line with the competency-based education system, especially in public primary schools from informal settlements.
Most of us, when we got into the tech field, we got into it when we were in campus. But for you to be innovative enough, you need to understand the syntax. Coding is like a language that you learn. The same way we learn English, the same way we learn Kiswahili, the same way I learn my mother tongue, the same way that I learn how to talk to the computer.
The bus, powered by solar energy with a silent backup generator, moved from one school to another to allow learners interact with mobile computer lab.
The bus goes there at around 8, so the classes start from 9 to 5. So the first class from 9 to 10, another class from 10 to 11, 11 to 12. Yeah. So we have different classes, but the same school. And then on the next day, we go to another different school, and the other day that way.
We are equipping them with the resources to be able to enable computer science education in public schools. Private schools are a bit privileged. Public schools lack resources. They are not equipped to teach computer science education. But then the skills, you realize that life doesn't choose. Like, it's the opportunities you meet in life that determine what you do.
The children are also trained on life skills and talent.
We chose rugby because rugby is a game that not only teaches kids rugby skills, but also values. So they teach kids humility, honesty, discipline.
With competency-based education taking center stage, experts say the future of schooling will mix classroom and digital learning, making fully online education a viable choice.
One of the reasons for online schooling, that the kids are exposed to technology, but in a safe way and an educational way. And then the other reason for online learning is so that we can be able to reach families who would prefer flexibility. Maybe their parents who move from one country to another, or maybe their parents who are looking for an international curriculum, but they are feeling it's too expensive.
Beyond learning, the program is playing a critical role in steering children away from drug abuse and early pregnancies. Emily Chebet, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
A police officer has been arrested in connection with a spate of violent robberies which were reported in Bondo Sub-County, Siaya County last week. According to a police incident report filed at Bondo Police Station, Police Constable Mark Owino was apprehended on Saturday at Holo Police Station at around 7:40 p.m. His arrest follows investigations into a robbery with violence incident reported at Luala Kotiende Police Station on February the 4th, 2026. The robbery violence incident took place at Ajigo Trading Center, where armed robbers were captured by CCTV cameras while robbing a trader before taking off on a motorcycle. Three people died in a road accident at Jogo area along the Nakuru-Eldoret Highway on Saturday evening. The crash involved a saloon car headed towards Uganda and a truck heading from the opposite direction. As you'll hear now from Miriam Nyambura, a section of clergy in Gilgil held prayers on the Nairobi-Nakuru Highway, seeking divine intervention to curb the rising number of accidents witnessed on that stretch.
At the Mau Summit police station lies the wreckage of this 5-seater saloon car, towed in after Saturday night's accident. The new saloon car without registration was heading towards Uganda from Nakuru when it was hit by a truck. Police reports indicate that the truck driver lost control, ramming the car and killing all three occupants on the spot.
Kuna watu watatu walipoteza maisha yao. Lakini kama hii barabara ingekuwa pana, maybe hao watu wangeweza kujiokoa. Lakini sana njuni konde hakuna mahali pa kupotelea.
Residents have called for the expansion project of the Mau Summit Rironi Road to be fast-tracked in order to reduce accidents.
Magari unapata barabara ni ndogo, kuna gari zingine zinaenda polepole, wengine wanatake high chance ya high risk ya kuovertake. wakienda kuovertake sasa wanapatana na maajali.
Elsewhere in Gilgil town, pastors from various denominations held prayers at the accident black spot, saying the tragedies witnessed along the stretch are too many.
Today we called upon the bishops, the pastors and the government through the DCC, OSPD, na wale wengine wote to come and help us as we say the prayer for the people here. Gilgil should not be a place for tears.
Na sisi kama serikali tunaunga mkono kwa sababu hata sisi tunahitaji amani katika barabara hili. Tunahitaji watu wetu waweze kuenda vizuri kutembea kwa usalama.
Residents, however, insisted that road expansion remains crucial in curbing road accidents in the area.
Sasa hizi trailer ukiangalia kama saa hii accident yenye ilikuwa hapa Josi imechagiwa na trailer yenye ilikuwa imepark. Sasa unakuta barabara ni kidogo, hakuna kwa kuondokea gari lingine.
Just 2 months into the year, more than 20 people have died following road accidents witnessed along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway in Gilgil sub-county. Marian Nyambura, Citizen TV.
With that report, we head into a break, but coming up on the other side.
Yes, we have a bit of sports news. We had Premier League action going on during this bulletin. Manchester City got the better of Liverpool 2-1. So that's very important to keep the title race somewhat open there as well.
Arsenal fans are not too happy, huh?
Arsenal fans not too happy, but they still have a bit of a buffer. 6 points at the top of the league. But City, they need to start getting a bit more momentum again.
All right, in the meantime, don't forget our guest for tonight. It's all about the NSSF. We've got Mike Mashari, is a trustee representing the FKE. Rosa Mamo, trustee representing KOTU. And David Koros, he's the CEO managing trustee NSSF. You know they're going to build a building in the CBD with 30 billion shillings. It's going to be the tallest tower in town. Taller than GTC, taller than KICC. Folks, stay tuned. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff.
At Burrows, at Citizen TV Kenya.
And at Emmanuel ND.
The hashtag is Sunday Live. Sunday Live takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Kakamega Homeboys advanced to the round of 32 in the FKF Cup tournament.
Welcome back to the program. My name's Emmanuel Ndungo. Let's get into the sports news now. Nairobi United struggles in the CAF Confederation Cup continued on Sunday afternoon as they suffered a narrow 1-0 defeat to Moroccan giant Wydad Casablanca at the Kasarani Stadium. The decisive moment came in the 89th minute when Walid Nassi rounded goalkeeper Kelvin Oduor to slot home the winner, securing all 3 points for the visitors. Nairobi United's woes deepened in stoppage time after defender Steve Biko was sent off in the 91st minute. The loss means Nairobi United remain winless in the group stage, having endured 5 straight defeats. Their final Group B fixture will see them travel to the Democratic Republic of Congo to face AS Maniema Union, where they will be hoping to salvage pride in an otherwise disappointing campaign. Story then, Kenyan Premier League giants AFC Leopards have been bundled out of the FKF Cup at the round of 64 after a 2-2 draw in regulation time. The Leopards went down 4-3 in post-match penalties to lowly ranked BB Bread as Bandari advanced after a commanding 3-0 win over Githurai All-Stars. In other results, league leaders Gor Mahia advanced to the round of 32 after edging Dero FC 2-0 at the Jomo Kenyatta Stadium in Kisumu. Goals from Samuel Kapen and defender Levin Odiambo boosted Gor's hopes of reclaiming the FKF Cup they lost last season to Nairobi United. Last season's semi-finalists Moranga Seal, meanwhile, were ruthless, thrashing Kahawa Pride 9-1 in Kahawa. Kakamega Homeboys also impressed, dismantling Amani Youth 5-1. Ulinzi Stars squeezed past Camel Park Rangers with a narrow 1-0 victory, while Zetech University eliminates Ruafa with a 2-0 win.
Tosha ngoma bao mbili tu.
Na kusema timu yangu improve kutoka last season Mozart Cup. Mimi tukirudia next time tukipata hizi timu za hizi za NSL Division 1, Division 2 tutapita nao, tukipata nao next time. Mimi niko na imani.
The team is doing well.
Today we are expecting the team to play better than what we did. But as you also, the field was very difficult to play. We are not used to such field. It was very difficult grounds for us to play. But at the end of the day, we managed to score 2. We are very happy once again.
Lakini mpira umemalizika.
Now, KCB RFC stormed into the Enterprise Cup semi-finals with a ruthless 62-7 demolition of Kenyatta University's Black Blood in a quarter-final clash played at the KCB Sports Club in Ruaraka. The Bankers set the tone early, with Fidel Minor opening the scoring to give KCB a 5-0 lead. Andy Cole Omolo and Levi Amunga then stretched the advantage to 12-0 before Lionel Ageletti added another try to make it 17-0. Amunga's conversion pushed the tally to 19-0. Further tries from KCB skipper Bob Muhati, Austin Sikutwa, Emmanuel Opondo, Dominic Sande and Stephen Osumba ensured the win, sending KCB RFC into the Enterprise Cup semi-finals.
It's always a tough game playing against them, so it's a game that you have to come all 10 toes down and make sure that you put your best foot forward to make sure that you win, because they always bring their best game and we have to match up and get something else on top so that we can get the win.
I think the new faces are people who are fitting into the program. We did it intentionally to do the signings because we knew where we wanted to keep our depth and to be able to keep new players coming in. So it's a matter of us just ticking the boxes and bringing them in to just get into the program seamlessly without having issues. I know we are having big games coming, so for us it's just to focus on how we can build our team and be able to go out and...
Let's finish off now. Over 350 swimmers splashed into action at the Mseto Sports Swimming Championship in Mombasa, with the event attracting over 15 teams from schools and swimming clubs across the country. Aga Khan Academy Mombasa emerged the overall winners, clinching the winners' trophy with an impressive 671 points, followed by Loreto Convent School with 508 points, while Malindi Little Angels secured third after a strong showing throughout the meet. The tight competition across multiple events produced thrilling finishes and a wave of personal bests from swimmers all across age categories. The action continues with the Mseto February Sports Festival Championship set to take place on the 14th of February at MSB Educational Institute, promising another exciting showcase of young talent, competitive spirit and top-tier school sports action.
Participated in this swimming gala because it has been good, competitive, and we've made friends. It has also been able for us as swimmers to showcase our talents.
I'm at Bandari Maritime for Mseto, and so far I've won all goals, and I hope it's all good, and I hope I win all the rest, the goals and the trophy.
We're here at this very beautiful event that was organized by Mseto. We really appreciate what he has done. It is really encouraging and it is in line with the CBC program. We would like to thank all the parents for their support.
We have Mary Joyce School, Mombasa. We have the 7 Northbridge International School. We also have the Oak Swimming Club and many others. As you can see, the atmosphere here is vibrant. We have electrifying and performance. We also will be having an event next week. It will be field events featuring mostly ball games.